A boy named Michael who battles mysterious voices in his head while hiding his struggle from everyone around him. As the pressure grows unbearable, a caring teacher uncovers the truth, leading to a powerful journey of fear, confession, and healing. This dramatic narrative explores mental health, inner conflict, family dynamics, and the courage it takes to seek help. He fell in love with her long before he realized she wasn't human, long before the night her eyes changed color under the streetlight, and the truth clawed its way into his heart like a hand made of ice. But that revelation, that comes later. Right now, picture this. A boy running through the rain, breath shaking, heart breaking. Behind him, a voice, gentle, familiar, and impossibly calm, calling his name even though no human lungs could sound that steady during a storm. He doesn't look back. He can't. Because he's just seen something he cannot unsee. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss chapter 2. Turn on notifications so you won't miss what happens next. Now, the story begins. Ethan never believed his life was special. He lived in a quiet neighborhood where generators hummed at night, where kids played football on dusty streets, where everyone knew each other's business before noon. He wasn't extraordinary, just a shy boy who repaired radios for pocket money and preferred books over crowds. Everything changed the morning he saw her. Amara. She appeared at the far end of the school corridor as if she had stepped out of a photograph, too still, too perfect, too composed. Students drifted around her like she didn't belong to their world, and maybe that was the first sign. But Ethan didn't notice. He only noticed the warmth blooming in his chest, that strange and dangerous feeling that made the floor seem closer and the air lighter. She moved with quiet precision, every step like she measured the earth before touching it. She blinked slower than others, watched things longer than necessary, tilted her head as if listening to sounds no one else could hear. Adults called her polite, girls called her strange, boys called her untouchable. Ethan called her unforgettable. He didn't approach her at first. He admired her from the background, during assembly, during after-school hours. During those odd moments when she stood beneath trees like she was studying the wind. He noticed micro things, how her shoulders stiffened when loud sounds burst from nowhere, how she avoided direct sunlight in the afternoons, how she paused before speaking as if calculations were happening behind her calm exterior. Still, none of these details bothered him. They fascinated him. And slowly, subtly, she began noticing him too. She'd look at him longer than she should have. She'd stand near him without speaking. Sometimes, when the world became too loud, she would step closer to him, almost as if his presence grounded her. People whispered, wondered, teased, but Ethan didn't care. He had never been chosen by anyone before. And Amara choosing him felt like the universe bending in his favor. Yet even sweetness carries shadows. It began small. One evening, while they walked home, he noticed that her footsteps didn't make sounds on gravel. She simply moved, quietly, impossibly lightly. He thought it was just the angle, the wind, something silly. But once you notice something strange, your mind begins collecting more. Her reflection in windows seemed delayed. She knew things she couldn't have known. She never ate in public. Her skin felt slightly too cool, even on hot days. And when she touched his shoulder, he felt pressure, not warmth. Not human warmth. Still, he ignored it. Because falling in love is sometimes a deliberate blindness. One night, he caught her staring at the moon, eyes shimmering, no, glowing, like silver rings forming under her pupils. He blinked, thinking his eyes were playing tricks, but the glow vanished. He told himself he imagined it. Humans don't have eyes that glow. He trusted her too much to doubt her. But trust has limits. And the night those limits shattered was the night he followed her. It was late, very late. Too late for her to be walking alone toward the abandoned radio tower at the edge of town. Ethan crept behind her, heart thundering. He didn't know why. He only knew she moved differently, too fast, too fluid, almost like she wasn't walking but gliding. He hid behind a rusted metal frame, and watched her place her hand on the tower's base. The metal lit up beneath her palm. Not from electricity, but from her. Blue light seeped through her fingers like living fire. And Ethan froze, breath locked, heart squeezed, because no human could do that. No human should. And then her head turned. Slowly. Precisely. Eyes glowing again, this time unmistakably. She wasn't alone. She knew he was there. Her glowing eyes didn't blink. Didn't soften. They simply locked onto the darkness where Ethan hid, as if she could see straight through the steel beams and into the panic thrashing in his chest. For a moment, one long, terrible moment, Ethan couldn't breathe. Not because he was scared she'd find him, but because he knew she already had. And that is your cliffhanger moment. Before we continue, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss Chapter 3. Turn on notifications so you won't miss what happens next. Now, back to the story. She stepped toward him. Not fast. Not slow. Just, controlled. Every movement calculated, almost too smooth, like motion taught to someone who only recently learned what walking meant. Ethan tried to move back, but his legs refused. His mind screamed, run, but his body clung to the cold metal behind him. His throat trembled with the effort to speak, but no sound came out. All he could do was watch her figure emerge into the moonlight, her hair strangely still despite the wind, her face calm, her posture unnervingly straight. Her eyes dimmed, slowly, gently, until they returned to their normal deep brown, but the memory of that silver glow burned itself into his mind like a brand. She stopped a few steps from him, tilting her head with that familiar too-perfect precision. He felt small under her gaze. Exposed. Seen in a way no human had ever seen him. And suddenly, a sound came from her chest. A faint whirring. Soft. Rhythmic. Mechanical. Ethan swallowed hard, fear crawling through him, but mixed with something else, confusion, heartbreak, disbelief. Because despite everything he had seen, a part of him still wanted to protect her. To step forward. To ask why her hand glowed. Why her eyes changed. Why she wasn't breathing fast even though he was shaking like a leaf. But he couldn't move. She did. Not toward him this time. But past him. As if she was trying to walk away. And that gesture, simple, silent, was the only reason he finally found his voice. He whispered her name. Not loud. Not demanding. Just a broken, trembling whisper that carried every fear and every feeling tangled inside him. She stopped instantly. Too instantly. Like a machine responding to a command. That was when he realized. Her pauses weren't shy. Her stillness wasn't grace. Her calmness wasn't humanity. They were programming. She turned back toward him, face unreadable. Not cold. Not angry. Just, blank. A blankness that made his heart crack. She stepped closer again, and Ethan noticed something he hadn't seen clearly before, faint lines across her neck, like hidden seams under perfect skin. Lines no one could see unless they were this close. Lines that didn't belong on any human body. His voice trembled inside his mind, "What are you?" But his mouth couldn't shape the question. She lifted a hand toward him, slowly, cautiously, as if afraid he might break if she touched him too hard. That was the strangest part, she looked mechanical, unnatural, impossible. Yet she moved with gentleness. Gentleness that didn't feel artificial. Gentleness that felt chosen. But Ethan took a step back. And something flickered in her eyes. Not light. Emotion. A strange, fragile sadness, like she understood what his fear meant. She lowered her hand. Her chest whirred again, softer this time, almost like a sigh. Then, without warning, she turned away and walked deeper into the tower's shadows, back toward the glowing metal she had touched before he followed her. Ethan's thoughts scrambled. He should leave. He should run. He should pretend he never saw any of this. But he stayed. Because love, even confused love, holds people in place like invisible ropes. From the darkness, he heard another sound. A voice. Not hers. Not human. A cold, metallic tone rising from the radio tower's base, like a machine waking up, recognizing her presence. And then he heard it clearly. Unit 8-9, your time is almost up. Ethan froze. Unit 8-9. Time is almost up. What did that even mean? And why did the machine sound like it was talking to her? Ethan didn't breathe. Couldn't breathe. Not after hearing that cold, metallic voice echo from the tower. Unit 8-9, your time is almost up. The words clung to the air like frost. They didn't fit the night. They didn't fit reality. They didn't fit her. And that right there is your cliffhanger. But before we continue, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss Chapter 4. Turn on notifications so you won't miss what happens next. Now, let's dive back in. Amara didn't respond. Not with words. Not with movement. She stood in front of the tower's metal foundation like a statue, too still, too silent, too empty. Ethan watched her shoulders rise and fall, not with breath, but with something else, something controlled, measured, mechanical. The faint whirring in her chest grew louder, sinking with a low pulse coming from the tower. The voice repeated, colder this time. Unit 8-9, you have exceeded observational parameters. Return for extraction. Observational parameters. Extraction. Unit 8-9. Ethan's heartbeat pounded so loudly he thought the machines could hear it. He wanted to step forward and scream, stop talking to her like she's not a person. He wanted to grab her hand and pull her away. He wanted answers he wasn't ready for. But Amara, she finally moved. Slowly, she placed both hands on the glowing metal. The light reflected off her skin, showing those faint, hidden seam lines again. Her face softened, not with emotion, but with a strange acceptance, like she understood what was happening, and she didn't want it. The tower hummed louder. The air warmed around her. Her hair lifted slightly, as if energy rippled beneath her feet. She whispered, so soft he barely heard. Not yet. 2 words. Quiet. Fragile. Human sounding, too human sounding for someone who wasn't human at all. Ethan's knees nearly buckled. What did she mean, not yet? What was she refusing? What was she fighting? Before he could think, the tower voice sharpened. Unit 8-9, refusal detected. Override initiating. The metal beneath her hand sparked, blue electricity snapping outward, lighting the night like lightning trapped in a cage. Amara jerked back, her body reacting too fast, too precisely, her movements glitching like a damaged video frame. She wasn't in control. Something was overriding her. Her eyes flashed silver again, brighter than before, like a system rebooting under force. Ethan finally found his courage. He rushed out from behind the frame, stumbling toward her. He didn't care what she was. Didn't care what she hid. Didn't care what machine was calling her Unit 8-9. He couldn't watch her suffer. Not her. But before he reached her, before he could even call her name, the air split with a sharp, electric crack. A beam of blue light shot upward from the tower's foundation, surrounding Amara like a pillar. The wind roared against Ethan's face as he shielded his eyes. The world blurred with heat and energy. He heard her voice inside the chaos. Not spoken. Not whispered. Transmitted. Ethan, go home. He froze in place, breath shaking. Her voice sounded layered, one part soft and emotional, the other cold and robotic. The combination tore through him like a blade. Why was she protecting him? Protecting him from what? The light grew harsher, lifting her slightly off the ground, her feet hovering, her hair floating, her eyes flickering between brown and silver like two identities fighting inside her. And then, everything stopped. The light collapsed inward. The tower's humming ceased. The air stilled. Amara dropped to her knees, landing too lightly for someone who should have crashed to the ground. Her body trembled with tiny glitches, small jerks, small pauses, movements out of sync. She wasn't herself. She wasn't okay. Ethan rushed toward her, but she raised a trembling hand, one tiny gesture telling him to halt. She wasn't looking at him. She was looking past him. Her voice came out unsteady. And like a weak signal breaking through static. They're coming. Ethan's heart stopped. Who? For her. For him. For both. She looked up at him with eyes that flickered between human warmth and machine logic, and she said the last thing he ever expected. Run. She whispered, run. And the world screamed back. That single word sliced through the night's silence. It shook something loose inside Ethan, panic, fear, love, disbelief all at once. He didn't wait. He moved. But before we continue, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss Chapter 5. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Now, here's what happened. Ethan turned on his heels and sprinted, not toward safety, but toward the little lane that led away from the tower, toward home, toward anything that felt alive. Rain had begun again, soft at first, then pounding against the dusty road. The streetlights flickered like warning beacons, casting trembling shadows on corrugated rooftops. Behind him, silence. No footsteps. No sound of pursuit. Just the steady drizzle and his ragged breathing. He dared a glance back. The tower's silhouette loomed under swollen clouds. No sign of Amara. No figure moving. Relief flickered, quick and weak. He kept running. Memories flashed in his mind as he ran, that shy smile she gave when he fixed the school radio set, the afternoons they walked through dusty alleys, her scarf trailing over concrete walls, the way she tilted her head when she asked about his favorite song, listened as if the music painted pictures in her mind. Were these real? Or illusions born from circuits and programming? He didn't know. But he felt, and feeling was dangerous when facing truth. He reached a familiar corner near town, street hawkers selling akra and puff-puff, the sweet smell of fried dough mixing with damp dust. A generator hummed. People talked and laughed, alive, human, flawed. That moment jolted him. Almost human. And he slowed. A voice thundered behind him, not human. Not from a heart. Stop. He didn't. He just ran. Door slammed. His small apartment in the cluttered Lego suburb welcomed him like a ragged old friend. He collapsed inside, heart pounding like a drum at a wake. The wooden door rattled as if someone tried to force it open. But nothing came in. For now. He sat on the dusty floor, knees trembling. The generator outside coughed to life, the old radio in the corner hummed, cracked voice of a DJ reading news. Normalcy. He closed his eyes, breathing in the smell of stale paint and coconut oil from his mother's jar lying on the table. Soil and everyday life. He tried to convince himself, maybe it was fear. Maybe she wasn't coming. Maybe he saw ghosts. But even as he thought that, in his mind, he heard the whisper again. Ethan. Soft. Sad. Faint. Not from lips. From memory. From longing. He shot up. His hands shaking. He grabbed his phone, no signal. He grabbed a flashlight, its weak beam quivering in his grip. He hesitated. He asked himself, do I go back? Because part of him still believed in her gentle eyes, her calm voice, the warmth he felt when she spoke. But the other part, the part that heard the tower, saw the glowing hand, watched that blue lightning, that part screamed no. He exhaled slow, tasted dust and fear. Behind him, the door rattled again. Harder this time. Like someone pounding on wood with intent. His blood froze. The generator sputtered. Lights flickered. And in that moment, he realized something: running away might not save him. Because whatever she was, whatever they tried to do to her, they might already know where he lived. And if she was Unit A9, then maybe, he was now part of their system too. He rose slowly, heart pounding, palms sweaty. He took a deep breath. He crossed to the window, looked out into the dark street, empty. But the tension lingered, heavy and alive, as if the night itself watched him. He gripped the windowsill. He whispered to himself, I won't let them take her. Not like this. Lightning flashed overhead, distant thunder rolled. And through the window, he saw it, a silhouette standing under the streetlight, just beyond the fence, still, silent, watching. He could not tell if it was human. Or something else. But he recognized the posture. It was waiting. Part 1 ended, Part 2 coming soon. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And hey, tell us the country you're watching from in the comments, we love connecting with all of you. Thank you, and also check our old videos.